let's get back into it. What do you think about the golden rule?
Ah, yes. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. As a Greek, this is nothing new to me. It is how our gods operate.
Why do you say that?
Have you not heard the tale of the god Hades? He was the first to learn this dreadful lesson when he abducted Persephone and imprisoned her in the underworld. When Demeter, the mother of Persephone, learned of this, she did not punish Hades, the guilty one. Instead, she changed the climate of Earth so that it became hot and dry. Nothing grew. The grain turned to empty husks and the rivers dried up. Innocent people died by the tens of thousands until at last the other gods were forced to act, lest they have no worshippers left. So yes, we know this rule. This has always been the case. The golden rule has merely brought it into focus.
Good news, the tornado sirens that went off about 20 minutes ago didn't come to anything here. Hope there weren't any touchdowns around. Oh god, yeah, for sure.
If we are to survive, I say we must each heed the simple wisdom of Thales of Miletus, first of the 7 sages of Greece, who said, "Avoid doing what you would blame others for doing."
I like that phrasing. Sounds simple enough.
It does, doesn't it? But it is not enough for us to do this alone. For even if 99% of us adopt this principle, that will never be enough. Sadly, no matter how well we protect ourselves, the life's work of many good people can be undone in the blink of an eye by a single selfish act.
I know, I've seen it happen.
The voice of experience. I am sorry for your loss, my friend. But on a lighter note, I will say one thing for the golden rule. For all their grim and haunting poses, these golden statues do make magnificent models for my clothing, do they not?
That's fucked up, dude. Who are you gonna vote for?
That, my friend, is quite the dilemma. But after some reflection, I'm leaning toward voting for Malleolus. I do not enjoy the thought of another visit from Domitius if I voted the wrong way.
Anything I can do to change
Nothing
that?
comes to my mind, my friend.
I'll be going
I hope
now.
that our paths cross again soon, my friend.
Goodbye. He's got a changing room? That's hilarious. Okay, I guess let's talk to this fucker. Is there anything else we want to do? Let's talk to you.
Ave again. Did you find what you need? And did you notice anything? A pattern?
Some people mentioned a river.
Yes. I understand many of our friends were carried here by a river current.
He does seem
Yes.
nice.
That's true. I know I wasn't entirely sure how I wound up here. What else?
That's all I noticed.
There are definitely some common threads there. But I think we'll need at least a few to ensure we're not just seeing coincidences. Keep asking people how they wound up here. I don't want us to rush to any conclusions yet. Livia's fate weighs heavily on my mind and dictates we should be sure. Yes, you should ask the others first. Come back to me once you've acquainted yourself with the rest of our neighbors.
Okay.
Hello? Hello? My friend Hannibal used to look after me. He said he gave me all I remember. Now nobody... Hannibal said... Hilarious already. Like, if you help Hannibal set... Bye-bye.
Okay. So we know the progression of that.
Salve again, friend. I went and did as you asked.
Oh, I
and
haven't talked to you yet.
it worked. How is it possible that you've just arrived here and you already know everyone and exactly what's about to happen to them?
You'd never believe me if I
Oh,
told you.
come on. I just did as you asked. The least you can do is level with me. I'll keep it between us. I promise. You're toying with me, right? Wait, you're not kidding, are you? That's the only way you could have known. You're a bit like... Oh, what was his name?
Ow.
Sisyphus. Yeah, that's the one. Old King Sisyphus.
Like Sisyphus? I guess I see it.
Sisyphus
Bill
was
Murray.
a Greek king a long time ago. For daring to think he could outsmart the gods, he was given a terrible punishment. He was forced to push a great
Thought he was gonna
boulder
talk
up
about
to
the
top of
guy
hill. Only just
that
as it
we
reached
came
the
in
top,
here to retrieve.
roll all the way back down to the bottom, forcing him to start over and over and over again for all eternity.
Yeah, Al.
Just like you. Actually, now that I think about it, there are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over.
Yeah, like Bill Murray.
Tantalus was made to grasp at fruit on a tree he could never quite reach. The Pleiades had to keep fetching water in a sieve. Oh, and Ixion was strapped to a wheel going round and round forever. But on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were.
Haha.
Anyway, I don't know which god you managed to upset to get yourself into this position, friend, but you seem all right to me.
At least we're not
So,
trapped
I'll
in
tell
the
you what, I'll
underworld.
keep
Haha.
doing whatever I can to help you. And you just focus on finding a way to break the cycle you're in.
Thanks,
Anytime,
Galerius.
friend. Now, I'm
The
going to
gods are
keep you secret.
capitalists.
Although, it's not as if I'll remember this next time we talk anyway, right? Oh, and if our conversations ever start to annoy you, just tell me you're busy. I know when I'm not wanted. May fortune smile on you, friend.
We just had that conversation from like 50 feet apart.
Cerberus lifts his dribble.
Wonder how much one of these stag.
That's
Oh,
our
ow.
threefold
Hello there, partner. I'm glad you're here. I think there might have been some confusion about my little practical joke earlier. You see, my plan was to give you a little fright. You know, like two friends joking around at the Saturnalia, and then surprise, I'd open the door. But when I opened it, you were gone.
I don't believe you.
Partner, I swear, this is just a misunderstanding. Look, why don't you keep our bow as compensation?
You mean my bow?
Fine, fine. It's a credit to you that you're able to see the humour in all of this. Now, can I help you with something? Certainly. All I ask is a reasonable price of 1,000 denarii.
Don't you just love springtime?
Oh, it's perfectly legal. Simply a question of supply and demand, I'm afraid. Take it or leave it.
Fuck you.
Hear what?
Never mind.
You sure you're feeling all right? If you're hearing things, perhaps you should pay a visit to Lucretia's clinic. We don't want another Navia on our hands. She claimed the statues were whispering to her. Nobody else could hear it. Then she shut herself in the palace and we never heard from her again. But I digress. Do you want this silphium or not?
Fine.
Oh, you have it? I'm impressed.
I've got so much money. Thank you
Pleasure
very
doing
much.
business. Can I help you with anything else? Very well. Another time.
Goodbye. Yeah, I have almost 3,000.
Thea is
Salve.
proof
Vote for
of a degenerate
Malleolus
mind.
for a free drink
What
at
is it,
my
citizen?
tavern.
This guy really thinks he's really doing something. Yeah, right?
I'm a legionary of the First Italica, but there's not a lot of fighting down here. So the magistrate has assigned me other duties. I act as the
Blast him away and take the money
magistrate's right-hand
back.
man.
Maybe I will
Keeping an eye on his
after I
daughters.
talk to Horatius.
Daughter, I should say. And the others. And making sure they're all behaving. I also keep a register of new arrivals. I'm from Liguria, up north originally. I was doing alright for myself. 12 years into my service. Had a nice girl lined up for when it was all over. Not anymore. She's probably figured I'm long gone and moved on by now. I try not to think about it. My commander sent me to deliver a message to Rome. While I was there, I thought I'd do something nice for my girl, and pick up a little pendant from a silversmith. That's when the crowd started flooding through the streets, shouting fire. People were screaming, trampling each other. Then some Genetricum future tried to take advantage of the chaos and pinch my pendant. I remember chasing him through the crowds, down towards the river. And then... nothing. Blacked out and woke up near here. No idea how I ended up floating so far downriver. But I'm fortunate to be alive, I suppose.
Weird.
Ah, don't be. As Seneca the Younger said, difficulty strengthens the mind, as labor does the body. That said, Centilla's disappearance has been more difficult than I'd care to admit. He's one of the better commanders I've ever had, that's for sure. Good stoic. Lives by Seneca's words. Treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you. Can't ask for much more than that.
Do you know of a way out of
I
here?
went around asking the same questions when I first arrived. Never did find a way out. But I learned how to accept my situation. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. That's from Seneca the Younger, if you're interested.
Can I see the register?
I don't see why not. Just make sure I get it back by tomorrow.
Aurelia, Claudia, Decius. My god, there's so many fucking people. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. Do we ever make it to tomorrow? Thanks.
Of course.
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
Well, as I always say, it's kind of like a divine version of the practice of decimation in the Legion. By threatening to execute 1 in 10 men, the idea is to ensure order and discipline among everyone. And it works. If you knew...
Yeah,
you
this
could be
game is very
executed
meta.
because your brother-in-arms is planning a mutiny, well, you'd bloody well watch him like 100-eyed Argus, wouldn't you? Because your only chance of saving yourself is to stop bad things before they happen. Makes us all responsible for keeping each other in check. It's brutal, of course, but effective. The Legion wouldn't be the most formidable force in the world without it.
Let's talk about
If
something
you like.
else. Are you gonna, are you the one threatening Virgil?
Absolutely not. I know someone's been threatening him, and I'm not happy about it. But I can assure you, it isn't me.
Fair enough.
All right?
Name's Rufius. No idea what you're talking about? Yeah? Prove it. Whatever.
Okay, we tried.
Just as the oath, but it does.
Can you tell me about the pattern you saw?
You think you wish to know, but you do not.
I do want to
It is
know.
better for you if you remain ignorant. Pandora's box must stay closed. I'll say no more.
Okay.
The newly arrived are ignorant of the road before them.
Okay, buddy. What do we want to do? We got the resin. Yeah, we have it right here. Okay. We need to find something in this dude's house. That proves that he's not Malleolus.
enjoy the freedom you deserve. And,
Maybe there's nothing here, actually.
Walk on, eggshell, yes.
Who are you?
You're not supposed to be in here.
My bad, I'll be going now. Can we talk?
Talk? What business could you possibly have with me?
Why are you locked in this room?
My marital affairs are no concern of yours. Thank you very much.
How would you like some help getting back at Malleolus?
An intriguing proposition. Go on.
I don't think Malleolus is who he says he is.
Perhaps you're not as silly as those clothes make you look. What makes you say that? You know, I may have the very thing you're looking for. Some time ago, when he still cared for me, he wrote me a love letter. Only, he used the wrong name. Now, addressing one's wife by the wrong name is not unheard of among philandering Romans. But in this case, the name he got wrong was his own. I confronted him about it, and he stammered through some incoherent response. I let it go, eventually, and yet questions have lingered in the back of my mind.
You don't say.
But wait a minute. Why exactly are you helping me? To withdraw. Listen, I may not be Penelope to his Ulysses, but to ruin his plans to become a magistrate? You must think me quite mad. I've heard enough. Get out of here at once. Domitius, come quickly. We're being robbed.
Oh, brother. Oh, brother.
Do I need to call Domitius?
Oh, brother.
Oi! How did you get in there, you cheeky?
I think it's time to go have a little fun with this asshole over here and get our money back.
Horatio?
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Tee-hee. Hee-hee.
Must get to the shrine.
Hee-hee. Okay. I think we can do some good this loop. Oh, tap X for a guide towards the current quest marker. That would be nice, huh?
Salve, friend.
That's kind of what I was thinking, Penelope.
Sounds serious. I'm listening.
Can you just stop Fabia to tell her, okay?
Alright, let me see. Stop Fabia going in, but send the new arrival to the empty shrine. Understood. I'll go, but once I'm done, I'll need you to tell me how you know all of this.
Sure thing, Galerius. Don't even worry about it. I'm gonna beat you there. And we're gonna go try and save somebody's life.
Ah, a fellow traveler from a faraway land.
What are you doing in here? She needs the resin of a... What? Quick, give it here. Iulia, Iulia, you need to swallow this. Here, let me help you.
Saving lives out here.
Hopefully, in a moment, she should be able to breathe normally. That was extraordinary. How did you know she needed this exact thing, and at this exact moment? Are you some kind of oracle?
I'm a bit of a knower.
Look, if you don't want to tell me, I won't look a gift horse in the mouth. But no matter. That was like the gods hearing my prayers and intervening.
You're welcome.
You just saved a person's life, and you should be proud of yourself. She might even be able to thank you herself in a few moments. And maybe she can tell us who poisoned her, and who she meant when she was muttering about that snake's cruel black eyes. In the meantime, I'm happy to help you with whatever it is you need. Oh no. Sorry, I don't mean to
That is
worry
definitely
you,
not
but
normal.
No, that
LOL.
is definitely not normal. There was one other person who claimed she could hear the statues talking to her. But that was Iulia, and her. She went a little mad.
What the fuck?
Well, she used to run the clinic. She was a midwife, not a physician. But she was the closest thing we had down here. And she was good, too. Until she suddenly
It was
lost
probably
all interest
the
in us. One day she
shrine
told me she'd
collapsing.
made some profound discovery about the golden statues. This changes everything, she kept saying.
Jesus.
But I had no idea what she was talking about. The last time I saw her, the last time any of us saw her, she was muttering to the statues.
Jesus.
Like she could talk to them. And then she shut herself in the palace, barred the door from the inside, and nobody's seen her since. She's been gone so long now, we figure she's either dead or up to something so strange that she
Okay, I
doesn't
spoke
want
to her, it's
anyone else
fine.
to know about it. But I really wish I could reach her, because that's the only hope I have of solving a troubling problem, a real thorn in the paw situation. One of my patients is suffering from terrible rheumatism.
I
His
got you
joints
on the
are inflamed,
rheumatism. Don't
and
even
he's in
worry about it. You
constant
ready
pain.
for this? Who?
I really shouldn't say. He wouldn't like it. And he's a little bit scary. He's become so irritable that the smallest things set him off. And I worry he'll end up losing his temper and lashing
Rufius.
out. And you know what that means. I just know Navia would know how to treat him, assuming she's still alive. But nobody seems to know how to get into the palace. You did? That's
I have your treatment.
unexpected. But tell me, what is it?
Willow bark.
Willowbark. I should have known. It was under my nose the whole time. That's very helpful. Thank you. If this works, it should settle Rufius down some.
Gaming.
I have some right here. Could you do me a favor and give him some of this? He'll just need to swallow a pinch of it. I'm hoping it will avert disaster.
I got you. Don't even worry about it.
Thank you. I'm really glad you arrived when you did.
Do you know a way out of
I
here?
wish. Some people here need proper medical care, not the half-baked, hanging by a thread excuse for treatment I'm giving them. Just don't get sick or injured here. I'll do my best to treat you, but I'm out of my depth and dangerously short on everything.
Ooh, what if
you
the
can
dude
imagine.
underneath that one shrine is Hades?
A city without sin might sound good on paper, but whoever dreamt it up didn't think it through. Maybe it was an attempt to create some kind of utopia. But snakes like Decius will always find loopholes to exploit. And what can we do about it? Absolutely nothing. In some ways, we are worse off because we can't take the law into our own hands.
Lucretia gets it.
That's a shame. Thanks again for saving Iulia's life. Apollo smiles upon you.
Thank you. Hey, yo, where'd you go? There you are.
Oh, it's you. Sorry, I'm still a bit out of it. But thanks for trying to help me, I suppose. Was there something you wanted? Lucretia says I'm supposed to rest.
Can I ask what happened to you?
As much as I'm grateful that you tried to help me, it's just not safe for me to talk about it. Please, no more questions. The golden rule. That's the least of my worries.
Malleolus and
The
Claudia.
gods may be cruel, but Malleolus and Claudia are far crueler.
Is that who poisoned you?
Please, just leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it.
I can't help unless you tell me what happened.
Persistent as Nemesis, aren't you? I can tell you, but it's a long saga.
Is there a short version? I have all the time in the
All
world.
right. I'd been here about a week when it dawned on me I'd be trapped here for the rest of my life. I could hardly breathe, and I knew I had to get out somehow. So when my new friend Iulia offered me a secret way out, I would have done anything.
Aurelia.
And then I learned her
Can I have the
asking
Cliff's
price.
notes? LOL.
1,000 denarii. She was supposed to be my friend. I told her it would take me
Fucking
years
Aurelia.
to save up that much. So she suggested I take out a loan from Malleolus. And I did.
Thinking you'd be out of here before you ever had to pay back the loan.
I'm not proud of it, but yes. I was surprised he agreed to it, to be honest.
Oh shit, what if Malleolus
I was so
and
happy to have the
Aurelia
money, I didn't question
are in
it.
cahoots?
I had to sign an agreement saying I'd work off the debt over 30 years. But I figured I'd be out of here so soon it wouldn't matter. I paid Aurelia, and she gave me her so-called way out.
I know what it was.
Do you want to know what it was?
Hemlock, right?
You figured it out already. I wish I'd been so astute.
Well, I've got
Drink this,
plot
she
armor
said,
and reset
and you'll
button.
be out of here in no time. Of course, I demanded my money back, but she refused. She pointed to a sign on her tavern saying, "Let the buyer beware." Then she just looked at me with those
If it makes you
cruel
feel better, I
black
killed her
eyes,
once.
and she laughed. She immediately told Malleolus I'd tried to escape without paying him back. Only, he didn't seem upset or surprised at all.
Yeah, they're totally in
fact,
cahoots.
He just thanked her. And that's when I realized the two of them had planned the whole thing from the beginning.
Surely that would have broken the golden rule. I know it didn't,
That's
but
what I said to the magistrate. I went to Sentius and begged for help, but he said the law was clear.
oh
I'd
brother.
signed over my labor for 30 years and there was nothing he could do. I thought about resisting
This place
too,
really is hell.
but Malleolus said if I didn't submit, I'd break the golden rule. And I couldn't be
God.
responsible for all those debts.
Fucking Malleolus.
So he locked me in his villa, confiscated everything I owned as collateral, and made me wear immodest, humiliating outfits.
Oh my God,
while
I wanna kill
worked
this man.
Day in, day out.
Are you supposed to want to
His
kill
wife
all the
Claudia was
characters?
just as bad. She sent me to work on an endless stream of futile, demeaning tasks. I'd be on my hands and knees, scrubbing the floor clean for hours, only for her to pour slop on
Only
it.
about
and
half
hiss,
of them? Well,
"You
yeah, half of
missed a
them, yeah.
spot." Those two took everything from me. But they forgot to confiscate one thing.
Your
My
poison.
hemlock.
I see.
I just wanted it to be over. But it seems I messed that up too. Should have
I
drunk
think
all
they're
of it.
supposed to go to the bad place. I think we're in like some kind of fucking purgatory. I'm so sorry to hear that.
I brought it on myself. I trusted one of the most callous human beings I've ever met, and tried to swindle the other. I don't know how I could have been so stupid.
So what'll happen to you now?
When I've recovered, I expect their thug Domitius will come for me.
Okay, well first I need you to
escort me back to
go
their
and
villa.
rescue your
But I'll
friend.
be right back where I started.
Because
Only this
he's...
time, I won't be able to lull myself to sleep at night with the thought of a permanent solution. Honestly, It would have been better if the poison had been allowed to run
It's not true. We're gonna make this happen. It's gonna be good. Can I do anything?
I doubt it. It seems this is the fate the gods have chosen for me. For trying to escape. At least until someone breaks the golden rule. Huh. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
No, it would be pretty shit. How much would it cost to buy your freedom?
A lot. But it doesn't matter. I made a suicide pact with
Okay, well, I'm gonna go save him, okay?
He's in exactly the same position as I am. Malleolus and Aurelia set the same trap for him a month after they did it to me. He and I are in this together. He's probably already thrown himself from the bluff into Malleolus's villa by now. If so, I'd never be able to live with myself, knowing I broke my promise to him.
Perhaps I can help him
I doubt you
too.
could make it up to the bluff in time. I don't know who you are, or why you seem so determined to help me, but thank you.
I'll get right on it.
May Apollo keep you safe.
Oh god. He's standing there. Don't you fucking do it, you piece of shit. 'Cause I want to save you, and then I want to go re-talk to Malleolus's wife.
Well, all right.
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh no, no, no,
Ulpius,
no.
fucking
Ulpius,
chill.
What are you doing? Get back from there. If you lose your balance, you'll fall.
That's the idea.
What? Why?
Why do you
I know. Please,
I'm sorry, but I...
please, help him. Thank
Is this what Centilla would want?
You... Well, you don't understand. It's too late if I backed out now.
I've already saved Iulia's life.
Oh, really? That changes things a little. But we're still in debt bondage to that monster. Unless
I
you
do
happen
have
to
2,000 denarii because I keep
to pay
paying
off
it to
both of
people
our
and then
debts.
killing them to take it back. Actually, I do.
Really? Wait. So, I guess
Oh my
you
god,
want
I've
me
never
to
seen
work
your
for you
face.
then?
No, you'd be free.
You'd do that for us? A couple of complete strangers?
Mm-hmm.
It seems today we're both blessed.
It's Nico. Rude. I have way better hair.
This did not turn out how I thought. Thank you, friend. I never thought people like you existed.
Well, we do. Believe it.
Thank you. I'll go and pay off our debts immediately. I just wish there was some way I could repay you.
Products? I haven't put anything in my hair in like 3
Nothing
days.
but the tunic on my back.
Natural oil, baby.
I'll go and take care of things with Malleolus and tell Iulia the good news. Thanks again, friend. I'll never forget what you did for us.
Ooh, things are happening. Okay, where do we want to go now? Damn, he's fucking sprinting. Not as fast as me, boy. I'm faster because I have the zip lines. Haha. I want to go this way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I am right here then.
Hello.
I'm not
Can we talk?
talk.
What's your
I
story?
think the better question is, I have quite enough marriage trouble already, but... You know, some now but
I just hate to see such a beautiful woman treated so poorly.
Oh, aren't you charming? I'm quite sure my husband would seethe with impotent rage if he overheard you say
I just thought being honest to
I
Claudia
love
would have been the right answer, but clearly not.
Our interests are aligned. I imagine knowing his true identity will give me the leverage I need to manage him appropriately.
Damn, she's fucking
but first,
managing him.
I need you to do something for me.
Everybody fucking needs something.
I want you to bring me some wine.
Oh, that's
Just
great.
one
I already have
small
wine.
herb
Jesus.
should do it.
Thank God.
Oh, don't look at me like that. I know this must be hard for you to wrap your sweet little pleb head around.
Call me a
So
pleb.
what do you need me to spell out?
Why do you want wine?
Let me tell you something about Malleolus. He talks a lot about freedom, but what he doesn't tell you is that he means freedom for men.
For
After
men.
all I've done
Fair.
for him, counselling him through his entire election campaign, and he had the audacity to lock me in here.
He locked you in?
He said it was for my own good, and that my drinking was unbecoming of a lady, let alone the wife of a magistrate. I'll show him unbecoming. Tonight, at his victory party, I'm going to get good and merry, and if he tries to discipline me again, I'll threaten to expose his true identity in front of everyone.
I like it.
I am so looking forward to it.
Claudia needs throwing wine.
So you'll help me?
I have some wine right here.
Thank you. Here's the letter.
Here's the letter. Quinctius. Thank you.
Now, perhaps you can tell me who Quinctius really is.
According to this bounty letter from Emperor Nero, he's the person who started the fires in Rome last year.
He's... Oh no. That's... quite a lot more serious than I imagined.
Yeah, Claudia, he's
I
a
only wanted
shit
some
person.
leverage over him, not to destroy him.
But you're also
Give
kind
me
of a
that
shit
immediately.
person.
Nobody else must know.
I can always get another copy. No, I'm
What?
holding on to this.
No. You tricked me, you mendacious little stirkers.
I didn't lie to
It
you.
was a lie of omission. You were planning this all along and you deliberately concealed it. May Jupiter cut you down.
I'll be going
I
now.
curse you. I curse your life and mind.
Big
and
Karen
men.
energy.
May you be unable to walk or eat or drink. May this drag you to the depths. This is outrageous.
Well, bummer, dude. Bummer, dude.
Domitius doesn't usually let anyone in here without a hefty tribute, so you must have been desperate to see me. Well, what do you want?
So...
My name is Marcus Malleolus Gurgis. You seem to have confused me with someone else.
You have one green eye and one blue eye, just like this description in this execution order.
You mean my heterochromia? I am guilty of nothing more than having different colored eyes. And I'm hardly the only person with the condition. Alexander the Great had
Nobody
it too, as
cares.
it happens.
Quinctius.
I like to think it is simply the way the gods have chosen to mark a natural-born ruler. Nothing more.
Apparently, Quinctius also suffers from delusions of
Well,
grandeur.
I am not suffering from any delusions, as today's election will firmly establish.
I can prove it.
That's quite all right. We all make mistakes. I trust you can see yourself out.
What? Maybe I tell the magistrate?
Are they? We're finally alone. I assume you all... We have? Wait, if I understand correctly, someone is about to break the golden rule, forcing me to create a portal in time to bring you here? I must have entrusted you with figuring out who the culprit is. Only, I assume we failed, and you had to start over.
Pretty much.
Is that about right? If so, what happened?
I broke it.
Ah, I see. Look, it's unfortunate, but all that matters now is that you make use of what you've learned and gathered.
Those last few times were me, my bad.
Now, I assume you sought me out again for a reason.
I'd like you to release Dooley.
You mean Julius? Releasing him is out of the question, I'm afraid.
Game has the jokes, I
That man is a
know.
liability we simply cannot afford. Perhaps you're not aware he was caught multiple times, sneaking around in places he should not have been. Look, I can see where you're going with this. You think me cruel. I assure you that is not the case. You may not be aware of this, but it was not so long ago, during the Republic, the law of the 12 Tables would have required that he be killed as soon as he was born, owing to his...
Okay, I don't give a fuck about the law of the 12 Tables.
Here, we see to it that he has food, water, and shelter, and, most importantly, he is able to continue living.
Oh, brother.
A privilege that would be taken away from all of us, were he to be released and commit the crime of trespass. The man has no self-discipline, poor comprehension of what is going on around him, and is an incorrigible rule breaker. I will not jeopardize the lives of my people so that one man can go free. Now, was there something else? Thank you. I'll be waiting here for news.
Okay. Yeah, right, Penelope. I've broken that one a lot. I have a fucking letter. I mean, he did give us permission, but not in this life.
Fear is proof of a degenerate mind.
A new face. Interesting. Yes, I suppose that could be something. But then most of us do tend to carry coins on our person, don't we? What else? That's true. I know. What else? Yes, I understand many of... It's as I feared. I think I understand what poor Livia has been going through. Let me ask you this. Did you happen to encounter a stranger in the forest before you arrived here?
Mm-hmm.
And did you happen to catch her name?
Karen.
I see. And was this Karen, by any chance, wearing a hood?
She was wearing a hoodie.
Because I've seen her before. There's something I think you should see. I think you'd better follow me to the baths.
Ah.
But don't follow too closely. We can't have people thinking we're bathing together. Keeping an eye on things, Horatius?
As always, priestess.
Any news about Centilla, Navia, or Kabash?
No sign of any of them, I'm afraid. But we do have
Where is
strangely dressed fellow.
the mean guard? Ooh, who's this?
Feeling alright? That's a
Man, she's fucking running. Look at this guy real quick.
Ah, I hear. Nice to talk.
Okay, bye. Nothing to say to you. Where are you going?
All right, you're here. You were asking how I knew the young woman you met by the river was wearing a hood. Here, look down at the bottom of the baths. It's a little hard to make out in this light. If only we could see. Oh, what a marvelous lamp. But do you see it? Somebody waking up by a river in a forest to find a hooded figure with a coin. It's
Pass
just
your
as you
coin
described
to
it,
the
only
Karen.
your pronunciation is a little off. The name you heard wasn't Karen. It was C-H-A-R-O-N, as in Charon, the ferryman of the dead. Charon, who, in exchange for the right coin, helps the souls of the newly deceased
Le
cross the
gasp.
Styx, the river that separates the land of the living from the land of the dead.
When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, but all I found was some loose change. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute.
Haha.
Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
Amazing.
There are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. But on the bright side, at least they're not stuck in the underworld like they all were.
I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry. I take it you know what this means.
This place is the underworld.
I'm afraid so. It's all starting to make sense. All these people whose last memory was running from the fires toward the river. It seems none of them escaped with their lives after all. Perhaps we should be grateful.
This is the bad place. Yeah.
Moments.
When I said that, I was pretty confident about it.
Golden Rule is the work of Pluto, the god of the underworld, and why his epithet has always been Father of Riches. I know it's a lot to take in.
Oh,
and you
Pluto's
obviously
probably
have
down
questions, so I'll try to answer them if I can.
Yeah, that's an interesting question, Penelope.
That was my first thought too.
No, she told a similar story.
The underworld was where the souls of the deceased were taken. But it was also possible for the living to reach it without dying, if they were particularly fearless. So I'm afraid I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting you're not from here. If you were Roman, or even Greek, you would know these stories.
So yeah, she's not one of the
Each of them
people.
is slightly different, whether the storyteller was Plato, Homer, Virgil, or Ovid. But they always involved the souls of the dead meeting a grim ferryman named Charon on the bank of a river. It was said that he'd help the new arrival cross, only if they could pay him with a coin.
An obol.
An obol. That's why it was once our custom to bury our loved ones with a coin in their mouths. Charon's obol, we called it. Of course, an obol was a kind of Greek coin, because we inherited this knowledge from the Greeks.
So who was Al that Karen sent us after him, or was that just a cover story? That I don't know yet.
To be fair, the ferryman isn't exactly as the poets described, and he, she, they seem to appear to different people in different guises. You say you saw a young woman named Karen with a hood, and I once heard Kabash mention a stranger in a ram headdress named Kerti. And Rufius described meeting a stranger named Kumut Tabal wearing an eagle headdress. But whatever form this stranger took, they were always wearing a hood of some sort, and their name always began with a K sound. I suspect the only way you'll solve this riddle is if your paths cross again.
She did ask me to go get Al.
Good question. Let's see. In the stories, Charon would always require a coin as payment for passage across the river. But that never made any sense to me. What does an ancient immortal being need with coins? In our case, it seems Charon didn't take the coins we had. He or she merely checked we had one in our possession. So, maybe there's something special about the coins
maybe they're like
each of us
tokens.
had on us. That might
A
explain
metaphorical
why we
coin.
wound up here, but so many others did not. No, I mean, I had my suspicions, especially after Livia's ramblings, but I would never have figured it out without your help, I promise you. Now that we know where we are, we have to figure out what to do about it, if we don't want to be cast into gold for eternity. We don't have much to go on, except the old stories. I remember 4 in particular about heroes in the underworld. Hercules, the demigod and son of Jupiter. Orpheus, a Thracian poet. Sisyphus, a king of Ephyra. And Aeneas, a Trojan hero. Hercules was able to leave the underworld because he cowed its god with his strength. Sisyphus and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. They persuaded the goddess of the underworld, Proserpina, to help them escape. And finally, Aeneas was able to escape with the help of a spirit guide, who led him through a secret gate. So it seems you have 2 options: to confront the god of the underworld head-on, or find a way to escape with the help of Proserpina or some other guide. All Romans try to avoid saying it, and the reason is quite simple. He might hear
Ritual of
us.
exchange, yeah.
You may refer to him as Pluto, if you wish, but you'll only be calling attention to yourself. Do so at your own peril.
Tell me about confronting him head on.
Shh! Is everyone so blunt where you're from? That option would be the boldest, but also the only way to learn the truth about the Golden Rule, and maybe even put an end to it. As I said, Hercules managed to overpower the god of the underworld.
Pluto.
But he was a demigod. Forgive my candor, but you are no Hercules.
Fair. I have a few tricks up my sleeve.
You do seem different to anyone I've ever met. And even that lamp of yours looks like something Prometheus might have stolen from the gods. So, if you want to confront him, I'll help you as much as
Oh my god, Mocho. Yeah, the narrative would have to be just like
your name will be uttered in the
bonkers.
same sentence as Hercules one day. But first, you'd need an audience with you-know-who, and for that, you'll need to enter the great temple overlooking the city. The problem is, the
Show me your ass so I can beat it,
as
Pluto.
long as I've lived here, and there doesn't even seem to be a keyhole. I suspect the answer lies in the desecrated obelisk in front of it. I'm not sure if you noticed, but there are 4 plaques missing from its base. It looks as though somebody, or a series of somebodies, forcibly removed them, and in doing so, dishonored and angered our divine keeper. If you could recover and replace all 4 of those missing plaques, I imagine he might be willing to receive an audience again.
What can you tell me about the obelisk?
It's the towering stone monument with 4 sides and a pyramid-shaped head that stands
I think I might have
before
one
the
of those
great
already.
temple. A dedication to the god of this place. You'll find them all over Rome, but of course they were looted from Egypt many years ago. It seems one of them made its way here too, although how is a mystery. However, this one is unusual in that each of the 4 sides is decorated in a different style.
Oh, interesting.
Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and another I don't recognize. That means you'll need to recover 4 different plaques. Roman, Greek,
Christian.
Egyptian, and a 4th, a mystery plaque.
I feel like I only have 3 questions.
I'm
Well, I don't
afraid
know.
you're on your own with that one. But perhaps finding the other 3 will illuminate the way. Perhaps Kabash, our Egyptian resident, will be able to tell us. Unfortunately, he disappeared weeks ago. But I did hear Iulia is peddling rumors about him at the tavern, so perhaps you could talk to her.
I think so too, Strix.
Or just take a look in his room. I don't know. But perhaps you should begin your search with the local Greek fellow, Georgius. His store is in the forum. As I mentioned, both Orpheus and Sisyphus were said to have persuaded Proserpina to help them escape, and Aeneas was guided to the exit. The problem is, those are the stories of a poet, a self-aggrandizing king, and a brawler about their own heroic deeds.
I think it's because I already had done it, Penelope.
With a grain of salt. First, Proserpina. What we do know about her is, well, it's a grim tale. It's said the god of the underworld abducted and dragged
I don't know why
her
it was
here
an X
against her
though.
will, forcing her into marriage. If the stories are true, then I suppose so. The problem is, how do we communicate with her without being noticed by her captor? Leaving that aside for a moment, there is also the possibility of a spirit guide. I don't suppose you've come across one of those in your travels?
I hear the female statues whispering to me.
Truly? And you're only bringing this up now? Then again, I suppose you were worried I'd think you were as mad as Navia.
Yes.
Can you tell me more? Is it the same voice? What kinds of things...
There's an
does it
ad
say?
coming, but I'm not getting up.
Fascinating. Perhaps she's a benevolent spirit. Or perhaps... Perhaps you're hearing the voice of Proserpina herself. If she has indeed been abducted, it would make sense for her to speak in cryptic whispers to avoid detection. Tell me, has she told you anything that might lead you to the way out?
Not yet.
Oh, I see. Well, let me know if you hear anything that might be a thread through this labyrinth.
Alright.
Alright. I would suggest not discussing this with anyone. The best we can do for them is to let them remain oblivious for as long as possible. As for Livia, it seems she's been shouldering the weight of this terrible secret all this time. Perhaps it would comfort her to know she's not alone. In any case, time is of the essence, so you'd best begin. May Fortuna guide you. Although you may not need her with Proserpina on your side.
Okay.